So I received a comment on my Vinyl Tech video asking me, why the Jimmy McCulloch fascination? You're so young. Well, to answer that question, I was 13 when I first heard the name Jimmy McCulloch. It was thanks to Wingspan, which was, of course, the television documentary about Wings that aired in May 2001, I think it was. And as I was watching that documentary, I was just really impressed by the fact that there was this young, skinny-looking guy playing the guitar in Paul McCartney's band. I think Paul described him as a young sort of whiz kid who had been with Thunderclap Newman, which of course Pete Townsend. They were his baby, and so I thought that was like an extra added bonus. Like, oh man, Jimmy played with Paul McCartney and, he did something with Pete Townsend. Must be pretty dang cool. So that was the sort of start of it, and then afterwards, that kind of, piqued my interest, and I wondered, what more did Jimmy do besides Wings and Thunderclap Newman? And shortly afterwards, I found out that there wasn't really too much info out there on Jimmy. There's this great website on GeoCities about him and all the sessions he played on and all the bands that he was with. So that was an invaluable resource in the early years. But other than that, there wasn't really a whole lot of information out there. And I felt that Jimmy deserved better than that. So in 2007, actually, I started to think to myself, you know what? Jimmy deserves his story. His story needs to be told. And so at first it started off as a sort of film documentary, but that kind of shifted into doing a book. So I'm working on a scrapbook biography about his life and career called Little Wing, the Jimmy McCulloch story. And not sure when it'll be out yet, but hopefully within the next year or so. I've gotten in touch with people from every stage of his life and career, which is really cool. And just finding out from people who knew him and are really close with him, just who he really was as a person. He was really sweet and a sensitive soul, and he had a great sense of humor, and he was an all-around good guy. In addition to being an incredible musician and very talented guitar player. So I hope that answers your question. If you want to know anything about Jimmy, just ask.